Just confirm me if you're able to see my screen. Anyone can just confirm you from your side whether you are able to see my screen or not. Yeah, can anyone confirm if you don't mind? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. So here you see the today's topic in Python is operators. Okay, so basically what do you mean by operators? Arante operators all are basically symbols. These are all symbols, or I can say that keywords. Okay, so the combination of symbols and the keywords we basically use it to perform any operation, like example addition, subtraction, multiplication, or comparing of the two values, or we can say that whether checking whether the value is there in the list or not. So such kind of operations if you want to perform. So generally we used some of the list of keywords or symbols in our regular operations. Okay, so which will basically perform some operations. It may be anything based on your requirement. Okay, so now based on the behavior of the symbol or behavior of the keyword, we are categorized into different operators. Okay, so the first one is here is arithmetic operators. Okay, and the second one is assignment operators. So these two things we covered already, but again I will repeat once again, maybe you may people recollect it. Okay, and the next one we have relational operators, and the fourth one we have logical operators, and the fifth one we have membership operators, and the sixth one we have instance operators, and seventh one we have bitwise operators. Yeah, so these are the operators which we have in the Python. So the note is we can say star. So we don't have increment. Okay, we don't have increment or decrement operators. Like if you remember, like plus plus or minus minus, these operators we don't have in Python. Okay, so to eliminate the confusion, or I can say that to eliminate the what we can say that the complexity of understanding of these operators, they removed it. So instead of that, you can use assignment operators only to perform whether you want increment the decrement the values. We don't have direct operators like plus plus or minus minus. And also we don't have operators like conditional operator. So that is like conditional means you may add it question mark colon. These operators also we don't have in Python. Okay, so these are the two things removed from the Python. Okay, and they newly added two set of operators, that is membership and instance operator. These two are not available in other languages, like example C, Java. Like some adjustment they did, but it might improve our understanding only, definitely comparatively Java. Okay, so now arithmetic operators also they add some more new two operators. So as all we know the traditional operators like plus, minus, and star. So additionally they are adding double star here in the Python, and also slash. Similarly double slash they added, and finally percentage. So if you observe here, two new more operators added as part of arithmetic, that is double star and double by. So what it means we'll explain detailedly now. Okay, so you people may understand it. Okay, so now the first one, as you know, plus and minus, a star, that everyone pretty sure about it because that is a fundamental operators. Like plus is used for addition and minus used for subtraction, and star is for multiplication. That is very common things. Like if I want to perform two things, let's take example a equal to 10, let's take example b equal to 2. So now if I want to perform the a plus b, you all people aware this. So a plus b will give you 12, that means addition. And here if you consider a minus b, so it will give you 8 because 10 minus 2, and a star b will give you multiplication of two values, that is 10 into 2, 20. So these are the basic operators as usual we can use in every place. Okay, But in addition to these two, we have two more operators as I mentioned, like A double star B. So A double star B will give you power of the given value. Basically, double star indicating power, remember all of you. So single star means multiplication, double star means power. Okay. So it will give you the power of the value. So A to the power of B, it indicates A double star B means A to the power of B, it indicates. So that means A double star B means 10 square, I can say that, because A is 10 and double star means it will be 10 square. So the output will be now 100. So this is the major difference between like single star and double star. So single star means like having the multiplication of two numbers. Double star means having the power of the two values. I hope you understand. So does anyone have any doubt till the point? So single star means multiplication, double star means power. And similarly, we have other operators, like if you observe that, what is the other operators? A by B, okay? So A by B is indicating, let's take example 10 by 2, okay? So the single by will give you always float division, that means points it will give you. So here it will be 5.0, even though 10 is successfully divisible by 2, though it is giving 5.0 rather than instead of 5, because it is a float division, okay? But if you want to give the same thing, instead of 5.0, you want only 5, then you should give A double by B, that is 10 double by 2, which is nothing but 5. Okay, this is the major difference in between the single by and double by. And I will give you one more example also. Let's take example, if I'm writing 3 by 2, okay? So 3 by 2 means it will give you 2 1s are 2 and 0.5. So 1.5 will give you, okay? But whereas if you consider a case called, okay, let's take 3 double by 2 will give you straight away 1. It doesn't give you the 1 point, because double by always will give you the integer number. It does not at any cost will give you the float number, okay? So that is very important. Here I will write a pointers also. So double star means, as we know, power, okay? Single by means we can call it as a float division. Why? Because it will give you always float value. And similarly, double by will give you int division. That means it will give you integer. The last one, percentile, it means remainder. So this is also an operator which it gives always remainder. So when we are dividing some number, let's take in this case only A percentile B, okay, which indicates, so A percentile B means when you are dividing A with B, that means 10 with 2, what is the remainder? Obviously we know it is 0, okay? So likewise, when you are dividing, like if you consider the other case, like 3 percentile 2 will give you obviously 1, because when you are dividing 3 with 2, the remainder will be 1. So likewise, these are a set of arithmetic operators which we have in the Python to do the minor mathematical operations, like any expression evaluation or any kind of calculations or any kind of value findings. We can use this set of operators. So if you have any doubts in arithmetic operators, please let me know. I will repeat. Otherwise, I will go to the assignment operators. So take 1 minute of time. And if anyone not following any of this particular operator, please ask me. No doubts? Can anyone confirm so that I will start assignment operators? Hello, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So the next one are assignment operators. So assignment operator, the traditional operator will be equal to. Okay, this is be technically called as assignment operator. Okay, but along with this, we have all what are the arithmetic operators along with the combination. Also, we can use like example plus is equal to or minus equal to star equal to likewise. So we can use all what do you call arithmetic operators along with the equal. So basically, as I mentioned, right? So we don't have increment or decrement operators in Python. So instead of that, we can use this operators, this combination of plus equal or minus equal operators. We can use it for increment the value or decrement the value in Python. Okay. So let's take example. If I want to store some value into A, so simply you can write A equal to 20. So now, as you are all understanding, A value will be 20. There is no difference and there is no confusion in that. Okay. But as I mentioned already, so A value will be variable, so you can change at any time the value with A. So let's take example. If I'm writing same thing, A plus is equal to, sorry, if A equal to 30, assume that simple. First I will take another example. Now what happened, the A value initially it will be 20. Now I'm replacing A value with 30. What do you mean by A equal to 30? Again means I'm replacing. That means now the finally what is A value? If someone else means it is 30, is no more 20, because the 20 is replacing with the value called 30. So now we have only the value called 30. But if I'm writing A plus C equal to, let's take example, some 10. Okay. Now what is the A value means? It is not 10. Okay. So now it is 40. Why? Because if I'm writing A plus is equal to 10, it is meaning of A equal to A plus 10. This is the meaning of A plus equal to 10. So now just imagine that initially what is the A value? It is 30, right? So now A equal to A plus 10. That means 30 plus 10. Now finally what is the A value? So finally the A value will be 40 from this point. Similarly, all other combination of arithmetic operators also will work out. Like example, let's take some B equal to some 20 is there. Now if I'm writing B is equal, sorry, B star is equal to some 4 I written. Okay, so it is indicating that B is equal to B star 4. So that means what is the value? B is 20, 20 into 4, it is 80. So likewise, you can either increment or decrement the value by combination of equal and arithmetic operators. So these are all technically called as assignment operators only. And also remember, Python supports a combination of assignments also. Like example, if I'm writing A equal to B equal to 20, so what it means that 20 will be assigned to both A and B at a time. So now A value will be 20, B value will be 20. There is no difference. Okay. Now similarly, if you want to assign different values to the AB, yes, that possibility also there. Let's take A comma B equal to 10 comma 20. So now what do you mean by of this line is A value will be 20. Now this indicating, okay, A value will be 10 and B value will be 20. But in the first case, if you observe here, both A value will be 10 only, sorry, 20, and B also 20. So this is the one common difference between A equal B equal 20 and A comma B equal 10 comma 20. So, but this kind of assignment we have in Python, it supports. So multiple values and multiple variables we can assign at a time. Okay, by using single equal only. Okay, there's no difference. So this is all about your assignment operators, what we have in the Python. So does anyone have any doubt? Please ask me. Otherwise, I will go to the relational operators. So any doubts as of now? All of you, any doubts as of now? So if you observe, all are symbols only, like it's an easy topic, but only to understand, make you clear the difference between different symbols. I can say, for example, single by, double by, or single star, double star. That difference you require to more understand. Okay. Now one more thing coming to that, equal and double equal. What is the difference? That we require to understand. Other than that, it's an easy topic only. Okay. Now come back to the relational operators. Okay. So relational operators means basically these are used to compare the two values or variables, whether big or small, or whether both are equal or not, or whether what do you want to say that, whether small or bigger. So such kind of compare, less than or equal. So such kind of comparisons we can perform by using relational operators. So relational operators main activity is to check the conditions, and also these relational, like if you see here, not only this one, from 3 to 4, I can say that this 4 set of operators always return Boolean value as an output. That means it always return either true or false, nothing more. Because all these 4 are we call conditional operators only. Okay, instead of the question mark we are using here, these are all conditional operators. Okay, and always these operators returns either true or false. That is we call technically Boolean value. It doesn't return any integer value or float value or string value. Always these relational, logical, membership and instance operators will give you always written output as a Boolean. Is it true or false? Because it always take a condition. So a condition definitely what it will do, it will execute the condition and it will return the outcome of the condition. If the condition is satisfied, it will return the true. If the condition is not satisfied, it will return the false. So similar likewise, the all 3, 4, 5, 6 types of operators will return the Boolean only as an output. Okay. Under that, the first one is relational operators. It's purely your symbols. Like example, less than equal to, greater than equal to, and double equal to, and also not equal to. So these are the 6 symbols which we commonly used for comparing the numerical values. I can say that, like example, if a greater than b or a less than b, such kind of comparisons we can use for this particular operators. Like example, if I'm writing, if in previous case only a equal to 10 I'm writing, b equal to 20 I'm writing. Now I'm asking, is it a less than b? So what do you mean by, sorry, a less than b? What it returns now? Yes, 10 is obviously less than 20, it returns true. Let's take, I'm writing a double equal to b. So what it returns? No, it is not equal to b, so it returns false. So likewise, always these operators will return either true or false. That's why these conditional operators we mostly used in conditional and looping statements. That is well-known things for you, like if else, for loop, while loop. In that all statements like conditional statements and looping statements, termination statements, so that all statements purely depends on this particular conditional operators only. So that's why conditional operators very, very important to validate the conditions or to validate the what we can say that checkpoints. I can say that, like example, whether you entered valid username or password, or whether the mobile number is valid or not, or the password is valid or not, or the OTP is verified correctly or not. So such kind of all cases, generally we use this particular conditional operators only. Okay. Now you require to understand one more point. There is a difference between equal versus double equal. Okay. So what do you mean by equal versus double equal? And see, if I'm writing a equal to b, let's take otherwise 10. If I'm writing a double equal to 10, so what do you mean? What is the difference if I'm writing a equal to 10 and a double equal to 10? Remember, a equal to 10 means here 10 is assigning to, okay, 10 is assigning to a. That means we are storing the 10, a value called 10 to the a. So now from this point, whenever you are trying to use the a or printing the a, it will give a value called 10. That is the meaning of a equal to 10. And it always returns true, because always it's storing, it doesn't have any problem or any validation, it returns the true. But whereas a double equal to 10 meaning, it is asking a question to the mission or system, whether a value is 10, yes or no. It's asking the mission. So whether a value is 10 or not. So single equal means it is always 10 only, there is no difference. But whether you mention double equal, it is asking the mission to verify that whether the a value is 10 or not. So now here there is a chance of getting two values, either true or false. For example, if a value is 10, yeah, then it returns the true. If the a value is other than 10, it returns false. So double equal always check the value in the a. If it is matching the right side value, it returns true, otherwise it returns false. But when coming to a equal to 10, it always returns the true, because the 10 is storing into a. Remember, it is some maximum interest they're asking this kind of comparison. That's what I'm repeating. Okay. So equal means storing, double equal means comparison. Remember. Okay. So this is all about your relational operators. So please confirm or please ask me if you have any doubts, or else I will go to the logical operators. This is also well-known operators, but still I just want to repeat it again. Any doubts?
No, no, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, done. Okay. So now the next one, logical operators. So here logical operators we have and, or, not. Okay. So that means these are also, as I mentioned, always returns. These all operators will return true or false only, as I mentioned already. So these all conditional operators will return true or false only. But only the difference between relational and the logical is logical is a combination of conditions. I can say that. For example, if you want to check or if you want to validate two or more conditions at a time in your application, then we can use this particular logical operators. Let's take example, condition 1 and condition 2 means if both the conditions true, so that means whether C1 has to true and C2 has to true, then only the outcome of this particular operator will be true. Otherwise, in all other cases, it will be false only. So now to the opposite, like example you see, go for pass mechanism only. If all subjects should be passed, then only he has to pass. That means we have to use and. Like example, X should be passed, Y should be passed, then the result will be passed, like that. Okay. But if I'm taking C1 or C2, so the quite opposite. If any one is true, that is enough. We can go in for a true condition. Okay. So that means and condition means both should be true. That is the meaning of and. Both should be true. Okay. C1 or C2 means any one should be true. It is not mandatory, both should be. Any one is enough to true, then the outcome will be true. Okay. So likewise, you can remember if both the conditions has to be passed to perform your action, make it end. If any one of the conditions is enough to pass to continue your execution, make it R. Okay. And the next one, not. So not means obviously opposite. So if it is true, it makes you as a false. If it is false, let's take example, not false will give you always true. Opposite to false true. So if you want to convert true to false or false to true without have any modifications, we can use simply not operator. Okay. So these are the three operators in the logical operators which will help you to understand what you call logically to make combine the multiple conditions. Okay. So that is all about logical operators, but these are also familiar in all languages, like it's a common in C, Java, .NET, and everywhere we have these operators. but only difference is if you really observe, whether you observed or not, I'm not sure. See, if you observe the above three sets of operators, this is quite similar to other languages, like example C, Java, .NET. But when coming to the logical operators, if you see other language, and we are not writing like this, we are writing double ampersand like this, and R we are writing like pipe symbol, I can say like this. Okay, so this is the and coming to the not, it's a tilde symbol, tilde. Okay, but when coming to the Python, it's not like that. We are not using any symbols here, we are using keywords here. That's why I written clearly as a definition of operators in Python is a combination of both special symbols and as well as keywords also. So here logical operators are keywords, not symbols. Like straight away we are writing and or not. We are not using the symbols called double ampersand or double pipe symbol. We are not using. Okay. So any doubt as of now? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah. So now coming to the membership operators. So membership operators are only one we can in operator, but to the counterpart we have not in also. So just before I told you, right? Not means, in means whether it is there or not, we will check. Not in means whether it is not there or not, we will check opposite action. So we can, you can better understand one, remaining you can able to execute it. So in operator basically is used to check whether the value is in the respective collection or not, or some list or not. So always in operator will validate whether the data is present or not. In better word, I can say that it is used to search the value, whether the value is there or not. If the value is there, it will return true. Otherwise, it returns false. So if value present, so that's why we call general search operator also. If value is present, it returns. Okay, it returns true. Else it returns false. So this is the basic idea of the in operator. Like example, for example, there is a a equal to 10. Assume that if I'm writing a in 10 comma 20 comma 30. So now what it returns are ante, it returns obviously true, because what is the a value here we mentioned 10. So it's asking that whether the 10 is in this particular array or not. So yes, it is there, so it returns true. So likewise the membership operators will be used, and in operator mostly used in for loop. So for loop execution and looping statements, I will explain detail about it. Okay, but it means that one. Okay. And now the last conditional operators, because as I mentioned, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the set of operators which are part of conditional checking. And the last one is. So this is the last operators we have in the conditionals. Okay, the operator itself is, and the counterpart is not, as usual. Okay, so is means basically it why we called even instance operators means it is a kind of used for validating the object reference to the class basically. Okay, let's take example, you want to validate a object is really belongs to the respective class or not. So in that case we can use this is operator. Okay, let's take example, there is a student class, assume that. Okay, there is an object called, let's take example, S1 is there. Now you want to validate if really S1 is of is a belongs to student or is of a student class, then we can use simply S1 is student. Okay, so now what it will return, if the S1 is really object of student, it returns true, otherwise it returns false. So that is the is operator advantage. So is a again keyword, but it will act as a instant checking or reference checking or object checking. So whether object belongs to respective class or not, it will validate basically. That is the basic advantage of the is operator. And finally we have like see, don't confuse. So each operator, whatever I explained here, the each and every operator I will take example in Python and I will explain and I will show it to you also for everything, from starting of arithmetic operators to like bitwise operators, everything I will show you with the example also in the Python in the next class. Okay, so that you will understand how we will use in the programmatical way, and you will also use start to use yourself in the programs also. Okay. And the final one is bitwise operators. These are also called as binary operators. Why means these operators always work on the binary format of the given data. It does not work actual data or actual decimal format what we are using basically. So these are always using the binary values of given data. Okay, that's why we call these bitwise or binary operators. Okay. So here, what are that means? Like we have AND pipes R, and as usual we have like XOR. So XOR we have, yes, and also we have left shift and right shift, and finally tilde. So these are the different operators which we have in the bitwise. So these are all will work on the binary operations. Okay, this actually for our web application development, like example, our mobile applications or web application websites, these operators we never use. So these operators are very what you call popular or well that used in the applications like embedded systems or IoT applications mostly. Even IoT also very less, but embedded systems mostly we used to represent our electrical gates like AND gate, NOR gate, and NAND gate is there, right? So such kind of application like embedded means ACs, refrigerators, and even washing machines. In that we may have that automatic chips, right? So where you will place a code belongs to this particular bitwise operators basically. But in our regular applications, websites are like e-commerce or social networks or net banking, loans, these are all applications that never use this particular bitwise operators. We used only first 6 set of operators only. Okay, but still bitwise also have some scope in the embedded systems. Okay, so bitwise means, as I mentioned, this will first convert the given decimal format into binary format, then it will work on the respective values. Anyway, as I mentioned, right, this topic I will take separately. Bitwise operators, for example, but as of now, remember that. So these operators are used to work on binary format of the given data. So these are the different set of operators. And as I mentioned clearly, we don't have any increment, decrement. Don't confuse with that. So we don't have plus, minus, or question mark, colon. These operators we don't have. So these are the set of operators which we have in the Python to work with our minor or mathematical operations. So if anyone have any doubt, please ask me, or else we can continue the next points. You can take some time and revise yourself, and please ask me if you have any doubts. Okay, so no voice means I'm hoping no doubts as of now. So still, if you people have any doubts, please feel to ping me, as I mentioned already. Okay, so these are the other operators what we have here in the Python. Just look on it. So here, arithmetic and assignment operators directly we can use it in our regular examples, but the other four sets like condition operators, to showcase them, we require conditional statement like if else. So that's why tomorrow I will take Python class to clarify the first two set of operators. So I will show you different set of examples, and also I will take what you can say, that a kind of introduction about conditional statement, like how to use the if else syntax. I can say simply if else syntax, so that by using if else we can explain, or we can practice on the other four sets of conditional operators in the upcoming class. Okay, that is the plan. So mostly this week I will take the classes. Okay, so if you have any questions or any doubts, you can ping me. Any doubts or any questions as of now? Okay, so we'll continue the remaining things tomorrow. Okay, as I mentioned, right, tomorrow we'll take completely practical things. Okay, like different examples using that assignment and arithmetic operators. Okay, take care. Bye bye. So I will share the video after some time. Just go through that if you have still doubts. Okay, bye bye. Take care.